Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, February 28th, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a time for change call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. We're go into the more of the understanding of just exactly why the condition of the civilization is in the condition it is in. And you remember, knowledge is power and ignorance is evil. So this is knowledge that I'm going to be sharing across the board. And we're also going to talk about money. Whatever is done lovingly, with righteous purity, and with peace of mind is a good action, Ramana Maharishi. Whatever is done lovingly, with righteous purity, and with peace of mind is a good action. What is the most sacred life secret of all? You are what you think. If you think you are bound, you are bound. If you think you are free, you are free. In the absence of these ideas, we are left with an emptiness that is so pure and fertile that only the most sacred experience in this universe can be born. Letting go of our identity seems like a huge, scary sacrifice at first. Yet the reward we receive is so enormous that it will take our lives far beyond anything we once believed was possible. For it is at the very core of this empty vacuum of identity that we will find the purest source of love, the eternal being, who we truly are. No matter what is happening in our lives, we can detach, retreat, and discover this divine home inside us. This sacred spiritual nest is more easily found when we commit ourselves to places and people that make us feel quiet, calm, and peaceful inside. Man is not born into mastery. You are born a slave of unconscious forces. The first step toward mastery is to recognize your slavery. To see that you are unconscious is the beginning of consciousness. Osho. At the very central core of your true nature is the highest vibration of love. This love never leaves you and is always available to feel whenever you quiet down the mind. This love cannot be damaged, altered, threatened, or changed in any way. It pours out of you naturally when your mind is calm and at ease, and it opens your heart to the God source, flooding your body with absolute elation. Every day that we choose to do those gentle and kind things for ourselves, rewarding ourselves with those things that bring deep peace into our hearts, such as watching a beautiful sunset, walking slowly in nature, or holding a sleeping baby. We can feel this wonderful divine love so easily. This love wants to move through us. It yearns to course through our veins like an eternal fountain of life, rejuvenating every cell and molecule throughout our system. This love brings pure healing into us on the deepest levels. We can invite this love to come out right now by looking inside to feel. Where is the source of love? Look with gentle eyes, childlike innocence, and a permeating curiosity. Very soon, you will experience a warm feeling opening from within. It's amazing how this secret love is always permanently inside us, yet is often hidden behind the ego walls and the busy, ambitious mind. To break down these walls and to reveal the true source of love, we must choose to engage in a process of peeling back the layers of limiting beliefs within us. It's those beliefs that say this type of crazy, wild, ecstatic love is impossible to have and is something we have to do something to experience right now. The truth is, we need to do nothing but relax deeply inside, and it will spring forth. A quiet mind is all you need. All else will happen rightly once your mind is quiet. Nisargadatta Mirage. This love is always here now, forever inside us. And no matter what inhibitions and insecurities pass through our minds, no matter how depressed, suicidal, or down in the dumps we feel, this sacred feeling is available when our minds become absolutely quiet and still. This silence will deeply and eternally love you by instantly wiping your consciousness clear from the mind's incessant habit to focus on its problems. Learning how to be still, to be really still, and let life happen, that stillness becomes a radiance. Morgan Freeman. Here's a simple exercise that will invoke this divine love hidden inside you to come forth. Gently bring your attention to the area of your heart and imagine the most beautiful flower is there, and it's opening its petals to the warm sunshine above. The feeling you receive is what opens the door to access the infinite source of love. Just how it sounds, this eternal source of love is no small matter. It is the most amazing thing in this universe. So you must respect it as that. It is what brings purpose to our lives and healing to all those wounds we carry inside. It's like a constantly pulsing sun inside of us, radiating warmth and gratitude in every direction. It shines upon everything you see, touch, and sense, and does not discriminate at all as to what it shines upon. It radiates deeply eternal love, acceptance, giving compassion and understanding to the darkest, most demonic energies you know of, which are in the deepest need of finding this infinite source of light inside. The people who hold this lighter vibration inside themselves will take you there naturally, just by hanging out with them. Their commitment to abiding in this healing vibration is contagious as they walk, talk, breathe in this healing source themselves. You can feel their connection and naturally mimic this love alignment within yourself. If love be not the law of our being, the whole of my arguments falls to pieces. Gandhi. If love be not the law of our being, the whole of my arguments falls to pieces. The more surrendered, peaceful, and still a person is, the more love they will be naturally radiating. We are all here to help each other ascend to higher levels of consciousness through love. In this process, we will find the depth of our trust and surrender is equal to our level of devotion to ourselves. In this process, we will find the depth of our trust and surrender is equal to our level of devotion to ourselves. In practical terms, looking at your own life, how willing are you to let go of your old patterns and excuses and give these up to experience real love? How are you hiding your bright light from the world? What excuses do you have for not fully living your life purpose and doing what you really want to be doing with your time here and the now? All this hiding is a form of lying and is completely disempowering. Even the little white lies that we may tell others and ourselves, these keep us small, stuck, and feeling stale. We have to acknowledge what lies we are telling. Ask your friends for feedback, and then summon the courage to let them go. Replace any lie you find with the truth, the real and most radical truth you can find. From this place, you become free and can truly ride with reckless abandon on this wild eternal journey into the heart of love. Everything that's happening is supposed to be happening. Everything that's happening is supposed to be happening. No matter what happens in our lives, remember this one thing. This sacred source of love is always here, inside us, right now. And this will never, ever, ever, ever change. This love inside us can never die. And it won't even change with the different situations, careers, or relationships that come and go through our lives. If our hearts still hurt from losses in our past, bring these feelings and memories of loss into the heart of love. This infinite source of love will readily accept them and transform them with its bright, deeply eternal loving light. And the sun is always there shining its love on us, even when it's a dark, cloudy day. Remember this, and look inside your very heart for the source of love. It is always there, ready for you to experience all the time. We're like this just super potent and powerful electric magnetic energy. And we are so powerful that we draw everything to us. Anything that we put our beam of light on, anything, no matter what it is you're focused on, from moment to moment, and in passing even, without any intention, you will create it. You will create it. There's no arguing it. The ego mind will try to convince you that that's just not true, that you're not powerful, right? You're insignificant. So with that programming, that pre-programming and programming that we receive when we enter these bodies, and it continues, we don't understand or grasp the understanding that we're omnipotently powerful, supreme immortal beings. We don't die. We don't die. We are forever. That which we are within these bodies is forever. When you take a trip, right? You go somewhere. Spend a week, 2 weeks, whatever. That journey's over, isn't it? You go take the trip, you come back home, you regroup, you go into your circle, comfort zone, until the next time you take another trip. It's all about the journey, right? That's what these bodies are. They're a trip. You take a trip, you enter the body as the God that you are, and then you experience with amnesia because you're just blanked, so you just don't have a clue of why you're here, why you're in that body. So you learn, you relearn, you rediscover, right? And it's a journey. So eventually you leave the body. That's just no different than a trip. You know that trip's going to end. You just know it. It's not like you're frightened about it. You know, okay, so, have you ever been in a situation where you've been vacationing somewhere doing some R&R, and you're having such a good time, and then all of a sudden the ego mind comes in, slams in there, and you say, well, this isn't going to last forever. The people will say they got to get back to work and the rigmarole and, the rut of everyday life. And then they wish it could last forever. It's the same with these bodies. When you really realize how phenomenal it is to be in a physical body, you'll savor every single second. You'll savor it. You won't spend your time directing your attention to the material physical world. You won't spend your time attracting people who are pessimistic, non-positive, no positivity, pessimistic, cynical, downtrodden. You won't attract those people. You'll attract the people that will match your vibrational frequency. It's a guarantee. It really is a guarantee. And so you say to yourself, well, I can keep putting this vibration out, being cynical, negative, critical, judgmental. And that's exactly how their life will be every single day. And, the old adage, you can judge a book by its cover. Well, why would you even judge? Because it's not the cover. You can see someone that looks stern, right? Their face. Have you ever, you just look at someone, could be a stranger, and you look at their face, and you go, wow, they don't seem to be too happy. But inside, they're laughing and having a ball. How do we decide for ourselves? It doesn't seem critical, does it? It really doesn't. It doesn't seem, hugely complicated. I concentrate on my heart, mind. I focus on my heart, mind. And I exude joy, happiness, contentment, and peace. Because it's coming from me. It's not coming from outside of me. It's coming from within me. So when that vibrational frequency is genuinely put out there, it will absolutely attract others of that frequency. Right? Where you won't be in the ego mind mode of judging and analyzing and criticizing. It's all wasted energy. It really is. We have this wild energy that surrounds our desires. We all want to feel truly alive. And when desire hits us, everything lights up. Yet, it is the real master who can feel the fire, honor the passionate heat, and not get cooked by the intensity of the juicy outcome. Or what you expect will be. The master chooses instead to be constantly warmed, and nourished by the warm, pulsating heart of the great source within. Feel ecstatic that there is no end to this life. That when you have reached on one peak, suddenly another peak starts giving you challenges, a higher one, a more arduous climb, a more dangerous reach. And when you will have reached the other peak, another peak, and another, and another. It is an eternal Himalayas of life, Osho. I believe the most interesting dimension to shifting our consciousness is within the melting and merging of polar opposite experience. When we feel our deepest connection to the source, we are also allowing our worst limiting feelings and beliefs to arise. It's always in our darkest hour when the brightest light shines in. The change in perception hits us when we are no longer fixated on a polarizing perspective. Meaning the instant we detach from gripping onto a harsh experience, we create space for gentle healing feelings to flow in. It is in this meeting of opposites, the melting of polarity, that we transcend all absolutes and discover what real freedom is about. Recognize the enlightened manifesting master inside you and step into playing this role in your life. Find out what is stopping you from taking your next step into becoming truly free. What will it take to follow these principles and begin to live the laws of manifesting? Play with your beliefs. Notice which ones you are attached to and hold on to them throughout your day. Get to know yourself. Understand what is causing all the suffering in your life. If perhaps you don't know what this is, just seek out what you are attached to. What limiting thoughts, beliefs, and feelings do you have around these attachments? When you find what's causing the most pain in your life, you can liberate yourself from it. You will see that behind every experience of suffering, some form of attachment is found. Beware of attachments. Yet more importantly, be aware of where they come from. And when you investigate, you may find there are many, many, many tiny little desires and attachments to those desires, which are running your entire life. The good news is that the more you are aware of these attachments, the easier it is to step back from them and not buy into their story. Freedom from attachment is what gives us tons of extra energy and focus to consciously manifest our desires. Once we're truly detached from all fiery desired outcomes, we will never become upset, irritable, and unhappy with this world. Now, it's very important to remember that being detached does not mean being disconnected or not caring about your future. This is a very fine line to walk, and learning to dance along it is what makes us a master. After the day is done, it all comes down to how deep do you feel connected to this one universal source that is creating who you truly are. Living 24 hours a day from that all-loving space. You won't need to be attached to any outcome to find happiness. You will be the source of happiness itself. Then, manifesting your desires for money, love, car, house, relationship, all occurs effortlessly on its own accord because you are at one with the source itself. You are born with a tremendous possibility of intelligence. You are born with a light within you. Listen to the still, small voice within, and that will guide you. Nobody else can guide you. You are utterly irreplaceable. Osho. This whole life that we experience is all about what? Getting and having, right? Being secure. When that's always within us, not outside of us. And in order for any of us to acquire anything in this physical universe, we have to relinquish our attachment to it. This doesn't mean that we give up our intention to create our desire. And we don't give up the desire. We give up our attachment to the result. Deepak Chopra. I mean, I don't know of anybody that you would pose this question. Would you like to manifest a life that is abundant with love? Maybe you know someone like that would say no to that. I don't. Would you like to manifest a life that is abundant with love, filled with peace, and overflowing with positive feelings? That's a no-brainer. You can create a deeply nourishing, healing life for yourself, and it's not that hard. The trick begins with the decision to master your mind. Just be willing to make space for a feeling of mastery of it in your life. Often the mind thinks like a beggar, and it cannot tap into the vast infinite realm of resources that are everywhere around it. It is only when the mind stops seeking, starts relaxing into itself, that it becomes rooted in the most empowered, authentic, and divine expression of who we truly are, and can manifest whatever we want with effortless ease. Manifesting is an art form and a metaphysical science which deals with how naturally and effortlessly we can allow our desires to show up in this physical world. Basically, and it's, you visualize this, you move energy into form. You create it into reality, and then you experience it, manifest it. And it is an art form and a metaphysical science which deals with how naturally and effortlessly we can allow our desires to show up in the physical world. Basically, it just happens when we get crystal clear on what it is that we want. Remove any limiting or negative thoughts about receiving it. That's crucial. Most of us won't do that. We start off on the right foot, right? And we kind of, those of us who are awake, we know basically manifesting happens when we get crystal clear on what it is that we want. And we remove any limiting or negative thoughts about receiving it. Okay? And then we hold the intention, it's now coming our way, and take massive inspired actions following our intuition. Makes sense, right? It isn't difficult to do. In fact, all of us manifest things every day without realizing we're doing it. And I notice, we desire a pizza and we call the pizza guy and it is delivered hot and fresh to the door, 15 minutes. Yet, when it comes to bigger desires that feel beyond our realm of resources, we tend to fall into old limiting belief systems that stop us from believing that our dream is absolutely possible. And one of the greatest discoveries to becoming a manifesting master in this life is learning how to live in a state of detachment from the mind. Learning how to live in a state of detachment from the mind. This means you realize that you are not these desires or thoughts that pour through the mind, yet you are the witness and consciousness behind it all. Detachment in this sense does not mean indifference, apathy, or lacking excitement for your desires. It's not a feeling of disconnection, isolation, or some strategy for creating a false disconnected state so that you can later achieve your desire and become momentarily happy. Having the intention to manifest a desire and being detached from the outcome is a very fine, thin line to walk. And learning to dance along it makes you into a manifesting master. Everything you want in life manifests effortlessly from this place of healthy detachment. It is a spiritual practice from feeling connected to the infinite source in all things, who you truly are. From this deeply connected space, you don't need to become attached to any thought or thing. This type of detachment comes simply from quieting your mind chatter and connecting with your heart and soul. Your soul is already perfectly aligned with the entire universe, inherently abundant, extremely confident, and deeply at ease with all aspects of yourself. When you are in tune with your soul, you feel relaxed, centered, and can find stillness within your body. Your mind is then delighted here and lives in a state of gratitude for all that is, and are okay with any result that may or may not occur. When we recognize that nothing has to go right for us to be happy, and that people don't have to behave for us to love them, our walk home can become surprisingly simple. You Prather. The inability to be detached is the main hindrance to manifesting our desires. If and when we are super clear about what we want in this life and have no resistance to receiving it, our desire will manifest within a very short time. Yet, if we feel disconnected from our souls, we need the outcome to find happiness and inner peace, and the body falls lower in vibration. We feel we need to work overtime to arrive at our destination and live from a place of stress inside. When we are vibrating at a higher soul level, it's actually effortless to manifest any outcome or circumstance. It basically shows up in our lives because we are so connected and thus available to it. True detachment is a very advanced state to live from because we are allowing ourselves to be absorbed in a deep trust with this life. True detachment is a very advanced state to live from because we are allowing ourselves to be absorbed in a deep trust with this life. We are totally surrendered to this connection with our highest power and infinite creative energy within. There is no need to try to achieve any outcome or fall into a state of lack or neediness about anything anymore. We know we already have access to an infinite resource of intelligent power, which can attract everything we need. We are simply happy within ourselves and our life as it is. And we can feel it to the core of our bones. The more we can practice relaxing into our soul, the more we naturally open ourselves to this meeting with the magical manifesting world around us. Through the deepest release, the sweetest surrender, we find our personal intimate connection with the all-intelligent, all-powerful, deeply eternal loving creative source, God, that flows through us all. The more we practice this, we establish a relationship with it and eventually find real peace with everything that occurs. There is no need to worry, hope, or fear anything in the future. We simply feel connected to the entire universe in all its glory and awesome power, and can feel okay with every single thing that occurs. By spending time developing our intimate connection with the source that flows through every breath we take, every movement we make, we begin to feel it is everywhere we are. From this ever-present state, we just know we are always on the right path and can never make a mistake. We stop believing in coincidences because we know that each moment is perfect, divinely synchronized, and contains the magical resources to manifest any desire we wish to materialize. Manifesting then turns into this fun, creative, mysterious, spiritual game to enjoy, instead of some serious achievement affair where positive results are needed to make you happy. These are a few of the signs that we are on the path to becoming a manifesting master. And as any enlightened one would say, attachment leads to suffering. It is a good thing to remember that attachment is the number one cause of suffering in this world. Number one cause by far of the suffering in this world. Whenever we are suffering about anything on a mental, emotional, or physical level, it is certain that we are attached to some thought inside ourselves about something. Attachment in the most raw definition means we cannot surrender to trust and let go. We are clinging out of fear, losing the outcome we desire. We can be afraid of losing anything in life, right? All based on our wounding and karma from the past. When we discover how to trust in the state of detachment, we find the spiritual state of connection, and our manifesting abilities ascend to an entirely new level. Attachment is a form of poverty consciousness, which stems out of feeling disconnected to our spiritual source. Out of desperation, we attach ourselves to certain thoughts, beliefs, people, and habits, and hope that a certain positive source-like feeling will manifest, bring in all the happiness and satisfaction we were missing. This approach is obviously coming from ego, that fearful, needy place, which deep down is neglecting and ignoring its innate connection to source. The ego is always desperate and always trying to make us feel secure because it's too busy to relax into the deeply eternal loving source that is here now. The great cosmic joke, of course, is that the source is always right here, right now, and always available to tap into. When we become free from the mind's attachment to anything, we start feeling the infinite love and energy within this source and know exactly how easy it is to manifest anything life you desire. Any life you desire. When we are not attached to the mind and are feeling connected to our souls, our core identity remains centered with the infinite source instead of our ego. We realize that we are the source of love. You are the source of love, peace, and empowerment. It is not found outside of you, yet from within. From this enlightened space, your ego takes a step down and simply feels grateful for life just as it is. Then the universe seems to hand over every wish, want, and desire you have. It does this for mere joy of feeling your heart soften more and see the smile on your face become bigger. The only time surrender is in the presence of ego. Love does not resist itself because there is no thing outside of it to resist. Just make peace with the mind in every moment, and you will experience total bliss and wonder. Behind every fear, anxiety, and pain, an attachment is hiding. If you are unsure where it is, or what exactly you are attached to in this life, just check your body. The feeling of tension, clenching, or anxiety always appears. Talk with that part of your body. Listen to it closely for a few minutes, and eventually you will notice a message inside the tense, tight, or contracted sensation. The more you understand the reason for these attachments, the easier it is to step back from them and not buy into their story. Freedom from attachment is a healing process. When you are truly free, it means you'll have tons of extra time, love, energy to consciously manifest the life your heart really desires. The process to shift out of any attachment is this. First, to identify where it is located in the body. Breathe into the tight sensation. Feel the pain. Listen to its story. Let go of its story. Relax into the source, beyond it all, and repeat until the tension or story are gone. It helps to remember that happiness does not depend on anything in the outer world, yet your level of surrender to your heart's connected to the source within. The more often you practice this surrender, the less chance you will ever get attached to anything. Again, every moment is an opportunity to release those hidden attachments stopping us from manifesting our dreams. Yet sometimes they're tricky to find. If and when you are accustomed to living with stress, tension each day, your mind is too loud to hear what its message is for you. Simply look inside yourself and ask, who is attached? Where do I feel I'm lacking in my life that is causing me to be overly hooked into this particular thought, belief, assumption, or outcome? What is that missing part of me that desperately needs X, Y, Z to manifest in order for me to be happy? It is vital to remember that it is always your mind that is attached and not you. You are not your mind. You are the soul who is eternal, infinite, unbounded, and cannot be attached to anything. The more clear we become about what we are attached to in this life and why, the more enlightened we become. When we can identify the lacking feelings we are holding on to, we stop blaming the world for how we feel and reclaim our power again. Seeing what actually is creating our need for attachment is the key to unleashing our freedom. The limiting feelings we regurgitate about ourselves are the secret gateways to forming new paradigms of being and seeing reality. We have the power within ourselves to release our blocks right now, and thus attract any desired outcome in this life that we choose. We no longer need to engage in states of unnecessary suffering ever again. You are given the gifts of the gods. You create your reality according to your beliefs. Yours is the creative energy that makes your world. There are no limitations to the self except those you believe in. Seth, I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close this out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. What if everyone you believed to be evil in this world was actually an undercover agent working for the light? And what if the main plan for your life was to learn how to become an infinitely flowing river of lightness, compassion, and gratitude? Sometimes the best secrets are so well hidden from our eyes that we have to give up all of our core beliefs to see them. How would you feel about life tomorrow morning if this thought was a real truth? There's something a bit deeper to talk about tonight than what you're going to eat. Always remember, this life is the greatest game there is. The winners are those who fear the least and love the mostest. So it's best not to take anything too seriously. And remember, everybody loves you in heaven. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here Wednesday, March 1st, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our time for change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times, and practice being in deep gratitude. We will never run out of things to be grateful for.